with the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda gaining 5% in the 2010 elections. Now, on the 17th of December 2016, Dr. Frank Habineza, the leader of the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda, announced, and I quote, "I have accepted your request to represent you as the presidential candidate for the upcoming presidential election, which will take place on August of 4th. I'm just trying to give you the updates on how things look like today. On the 6th of February 2017 came this announcement from former journalist Philippe Maimana. And Philippe Maimana said, "I want to contest as an independent candidate. I have no political party." Now, these are just some of those who have already expressed interest in running for the position of president. On 3rd of May 2017, 35-year-old Diana Shima Rwigara announced her intentions to contest for the top job. And she said, "Today I am expressing that I am ready to contest the presidential elections. I am one of the Rwandan women with the credentials and wish to lead the Rwandans." Now, if we look or go by the major announcement that President Paul Kagame made in the New Year's address that happened on 1st of January 2016, he said, "You requested me to lead the country again after 2017. Given the importance and consideration you attach to this, I can only accept." You know, and then he said, "But I don't think what we need is an eternal leader." Now, the RPF will be picking its presidential candidate during its Congress, which I'm told will be happening very soon. It hasn't happened yet. But interestingly, even before the RPF officially confirms its presidential candidate, PSD and the PL parties have actually endorsed President Paul Kagame. And this is what Dr. Vincent Biruta said. The objective of the party was not about to simply contest for the sake of it, but rather support whoever it is that seeks to foster Rwanda's socio-economic transformation. Now, tonight on the program, what we're asking you on a Twitter poll question is for you to let us know whether this decision by PSD and PL to endorse RPF's Paul Kagame as presidential candidate in the August polls affects in any way the multi-party politics of the country. We have a great panel right here. We have full house. And in just a bit, I'll be introducing them right here. That's your Twitter poll question. So far, we have 67% of you saying not at all, and 33% of you saying that yes, it does affect the multi-party politics. So let's get on to it. Keep tweeting, keep voting, and of course, we'll be sampling some of your tweets and your votes in the course of the program. Let me introduce my panelists right here on the program. We have none other than Honorable Dr. Nyiramirimo Odette, the Secretary General of the Liberal Party of Rwanda. Thank you for joining us on the program. Also with us on the program is none other than Sheikh Abdul Karim Harimana, who's from RPF. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
With us also on the program is Dr. Frank Habineza, the leader of the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda. Thank you for joining us on the program.
It's a pleasure.
Also with us is Dr. Jean Chrysostome, the Secretary General of PSD. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with Honorable Odette. They always say ladies first, and I'm going to start with you tonight on the program. This decision by PSD, and yes, PL and PSD, of course, to endorse President Paul Kagame as the presidential candidate, even before RPF does it. Some people are actually confused. Why did you decide to do that? Was it a case of, if you can't beat them, join them?
We decided to endorse or to propose our candidate as His Excellency Paul Kagame, not only because as members of Liberal Party, we think that he is the only president at this moment that is fit to lead the country, but also that all Rwandans have chosen him. When they decided to have the parliament propose to change the constitution, and we all went to that referendum, and if I recall well, 98% of Rwandans voted for the change.
Come on, but Honorable Odette, the referendum and the presidential elections are very different things. Things can change. This is politics.
Actually,
you seem to have thrown in the towel so soon.
They wanted the constitution to change so that President Kagame be able to contest again. And then our party at that time also decided to write also to the parliament and ask them to have that constitution changed.
But the constitution change was not just about President Paul Kagame, right?
It was not only about him,
Yes.
but what provoked that change of constitution was that Article 101, where he could not contest.
Yeah.
And actually, people were talking of that article only. Of course, there are some other articles that changed because you can't change the constitution every year or
So what you're saying
It
is
is-
within your party, there's
Yeah.
no one else who can run. The Honorable Speaker, yourself.
we could run,
Yes.
but we sat, we discussed, we said, who is going to run for our party? And then we really discussed, first of all, within the leadership of the party. But we said, no one else can take the decision but the Congress. It is in our constitution as a party. It is the Congress that takes the decision on who will run for the presidential elections. And when we invited our Congress people, we asked them, who do you want? Because we didn't want to propose, we want you to vote for Paul Kagame, to ask for him to be the candidate of Rwandans,
Yeah.
of our party.
Yeah.
But we said we have two choices.
Yeah.
We can either propose one of us
Yes.
or propose that because of that change of constitution,
You
because we've seen what has been happening among Rwandans everywhere we go,
Yeah.
we hear, we have our ears open.
Yeah.
And
You read
our
the
people,
signs on the wall.
Yes.
The writing on the wall.
And
What if President Kagame says he doesn't want to run? Because the party hasn't yet picked him. I mean,
I
as
don't
candidate.
think he can say that.
What if he
because
says
he
it?
said it.
Yes.
You also recalled that. He said it the 1st of January.
Yeah. He can only accept.
You people, you want me? Okay, I can only accept.
Let me bring in your counterpart who also made the same decision, PSD. I mean, what is that? I mean, some people are saying, Harikose, what is this? This is comedy. Some people have actually said that this is really comedy. And why I'm asking you this is the spirit of multi-party politics. When you have multi-parties, then the citizens, the electorate, have choices to be able to pick from the ideologies of these different parties.
Yes.
Now, you saying that, you know what, we will not field a candidate, we are supporting President Paul Kagame as the presidential candidate for these elections. Make me understand this decision.
Thank you so much. I think the other people are thinking is not for us because our party is independent and we have the way in which we take our decisions.
Yes.
So from 2015, at the beginning of the referendum process, we had a Congress and we said we are going to endorse a candidate. We never said we will be Kagame or another one. So through the period, we consider each other from the districts, villages, until to the National Congress.
Yeah.
What we see in Kagame is totally different from what other people can say about. Kagame is a leader for leaders. He's not a leader for followers. So if someone is a leader for leaders and the other leaders endorse him, to me is the choice, the best one a human being can do. So for us, we did the best choice because we love Rwanda, we love our members of party, we love all Rwandese. We did what every Rwandan, normal one, can do.
Right. So why didn't you endorse him, for example? You said you had the choice, your party is independent.
I'm very sorry, Anangwe. I can't compare Kagame with Dr. Frank. I respect him,
Yes.
but I cannot.
You cannot compare.
I cannot.
Let
Thank
me hear
you.
from Dr. Frank Habineza. Dr. Frank, from some quarters you have been reported as saying, this is actually good for us. This decision by PL and PSD is actually good for us.
Yeah.
Those who really wanted to vote for a presidential candidate from those two parties now have no choice. If they don't want to vote for President Kagame, they will be voting for you. This is what you
That's
you
correct.
assume will happen. Can
That's
you
correct.
understand that as well?
Yeah, okay. Of course, we have two positions on the decision of PER and PSD. The first one is we are not happy. They did not participate because we thought that since Rwanda is a country which lands on multi-party democracy, whereby we have pluralism that all political parties have a say. So we thought that if they were in the game, it would be nice to hear their views, their ideas, their policies, which all would come to help the country to move forward. So we were saddened that the two parties decided not to participate. But on the other side, it was another also positive note that some of their people who feel that they should have had a candidate and they don't have a candidate and they don't want to vote for the LRPF candidate, they would vote for us. So that's another positive note. We say that, okay, well, we are not happy that they did not participate, but on the other side, we will gain something from that.
I see Honorable Abdul Karim smiling, and that smile is not really a sort of a smile that a convinced person really feels. Does he have a chance that he feels that the people who support PL and PSD, who really feel aggrieved by that decision, are going to vote for him? This is what he feels. Do you think he has a chance?
If it is some kind of chance, it will be, I think, 0%.
0%?
Yeah. Number one, what the PSD and PL did, it is freedom of expression. And this is mentioned in our constitution. And it is a right for everyone Rwandan to exercise it whenever and wherever you want to exercise it. Freedom of expression. Our doctor here expressed himself, even before anyone, before any party here. I think some 2-3 months ago, they decided in their party to bring him up as their flag bearer.
Yes.
And other parties sat and they said that, but if we look at the logical flow, the Rwandese in 2015, almost all over the year, they are talking to the president. Mr. President, we know that the constitution bars you from coming back come 2017, but we as your people, we still love you, we still want you in place, we still want you to serve us. They expressed it on radios, they expressed it in paper, they expressed it everywhere, wherever you go, until when they said maybe this one is not enough. They started writing letters, individuals and groups. As if that one was not enough also, some wanted even to move in demonstration to show the president they want him. And for him, he kept telling them, but the constitution says this, you have to convince me until when I take a decision. He was convinced, and 2015, toward the end of the year, or the beginning of 2016, he told them, I can't disappoint you. We have been together for some time. If you appreciate what I did in your name and with your support,
I'm ready to
run again. This is the man. As Dr. Odette said it, the participation of the people in that referendum, which took place in that year, was 97%.
Yes, almost 98.
You see, all adults in Rwanda almost were there. It is only 3% who were maybe sick or outside the country or had some other, issues that made them not come. But 97%.
Or may not have supported their whole idea.
Yes. And then the outcome was 98 or 90 something.
98.6.
So this is a big number. So going against this logic, I think Rwandese will look at you and maybe mock, not only laugh.
One of those people who's going against this logic, practically, is Dr. Frank Habineza, because he says, I'm still
That is why
running.
he made me smile.
Dr. Frank, they are seemingly using those numbers from the referendum to actually say that, you know what, this is sort of already done deal. And you seem to be the person who people are waiting for to actually endorse President Paul Kagame.
But you know very well, for us actually, in 2010, we were surprised. Honorable Musa Fazil from PDI made a statement before even President Kagame was sworn in for the second term, that they think President Kagame should continue for a third term. So we took note of that, but we thought maybe it was a joke. Then in 2013, we had a chance, when our party was registered, to debate on Isango Star with Honorable Mukama Abbas from the Vice President of PDI at Isango Star, but it was aired on 5 other radio stations. So we discussed that issue, and Honorable Abbas confirmed again that they really want President Kagame to continue. So again, when we saw this thing coming again in 2015, we just remember that this is not something spontaneous. It was something which PDI, let's say, prophesied in 2010 and confirmed in 2013. And we said as a party, we said we cannot support this because we know that this is a game which is not going to take a country in a good direction. So we wrote to the parliament and said to the parliament that please don't accept to change the constitution as we are hearing this movement is asking. The parliament did not listen to us. We took the matter to the Supreme Court, and we had a case in the Supreme Court chaired by the Supreme Court Chief Justice, and there was a final ruling. But among the issues we were against was removing of that Article 101 from the Constitution, which said that the term of should not be more. I mean, they were saying the leader could only not go more than 2 terms,
yes,
which was 7 years mandate. So it was 14 years. So we said that actually we wanted the 7 years to be reduced to 5 years. Or 4 years.
But since that is done already, what we're looking at now is the numbers that voted in this referendum is what they seem to be going with in their decision. Say, Rwandans actually said yes. This seems to be a done deal.
That's where I'm going to.
So how do you fight this?
Yeah, now we say that the numbers, the 98% that was voted in the referendum, does not reflect the full wishes of Rwandans. Why? Because when it was a time for the referendum, the real voting was announced in 1 week's period. They gave us 1 week. They said the election would be next week. So we went to the Electoral Commission and asked them what it would be the arrangement for a campaign. So because we had mentioned that we would campaign for a no change of the Constitution. The Electoral Commission told us that no, the campaigns are not programmed. There will not be campaigns. However, there was an arrangement for the members of parliament to go to all over the different sectors in the country to sensitize the population how to vote.
So what's the point here?
So some members of parliament
yes,
actually told the people to vote for yes. So we said that if we had a chance to also go and make a campaign and tell the people that these are the reasons why you should not vote for a yes, we think that the people, the no vote would have won. So because we know that we didn't have the chance to campaign, we know that some people did not hear our views. So now we think that we have a chance to campaign, and we told the people, you see, we have better policies. And last time they didn't hear from us, now you can hear from us. So we believe that we have a chance.
So if the referendum was done today,
yes,
it would
be
We don't
consider that because we never had a chance to give our views.
All right.
Yes.
Let me hear from Honorable Deb, because she actually brought that point up on the issue of the numbers that and reflecting the will of the people of the ground. The Democratic Green Party leader seems to be poking holes on that point and says, oh yeah, that does not actually represent the full will of the Rwandans. What's your take on that?
It's like the president of Democratic Green Party thinks that Rwandans don't think enough. If they voted for the change of that constitution, I think they understood well why they were doing it. And even if he was given today the chance to go and campaign against the change of the constitution, or if it was still the case.
Yes.
But now he's saying that he'll go and present his programs, and which are better. I don't know which are those programs which are better than all, because us as Liberal Party, for example,
yes,
we also have a program. A 7-year program.
And you felt it's not good enough?
No, it was good.
President Paul Kagame and the RPS program?
Actually, we've not waited to read
yes,
President Kagame's program. But we can, knowing what has been happening these years, and it is a continuation, and ours also was based on the gains that we've had these years. Yeah. And we are now will be trying now to make sure that what we have planned also is included in President Kagame's program, to make sure that what we wish to see done will be done. And I think it is not very different from his program, because we are in the same, we are sharing the power. You know well, it is enshrined in our constitution that power sharing, that's how we have been always in the government. Our president of party is the president of parliament, and we are in all decision-making organs.
Right.
So it's like we are part of it.
So there's no need of contesting.
No.
Mr. Anangwe, if you allow me, I want to just respond
the
to
time
my
being.
friend, Dr. Frank. We just simple ways of statistics.
Yeah.
Frank, I think you can agree on some principles of statistics. If in 2010, Kagame got 93, PSD got 5, PLR got around 2, and now you're saying that we're going to have some of us voting for you. If I even give you a chance to use 1% of error in my model, you will not have a 1%. Honestly saying, you will not have 1%. It will be very difficult for you because we are saying that we are going out, you are going to teach our members, are going to vote for you, but with simple statistics, how do you think about your chances? As Abdul Karim said, honestly saying, I think it's good to participate. For you, it's an experience. As a young politician with a new party, we have 25 years more in the political system in Rwanda, so we know better than you. So I think statistically saying, your chance is very limited if you agree with principles of statistics.
But then he says,
maybe
before he
to
comes
add
in
on
to
that-
respond, and before you add on to that, he has actually said that he seems, one, as a party, they're happy. I mean, they're not happy with the decision you made. You're actually spoiling the whole purpose of multi-party politics. But on the second hand, they're happy that they're going to actually feed from, people who are going to fall out from your parties, and that they're actually going to vote for him and his party. Do you agree with that?
No, I do not, because you see, when you endorse Paul Kagame, it's not meaning that we are going to remain at home. We are campaigning for him. We are be there in the field. So Frank, do you have a program? We support the program of RPF. We go together. What do you think?
So why don't you join RPF and cease to be a party?
No, there's no problem.
Because if you think that you are not different from RPF,
in our constitution,
then it just be the same one party.
in our constitution,
And then we know that you have nothing new.
Article 54, multi-partyism in Rwanda, the forum of political parties where you are being in today. If you go through those articles, you understand why. One is we do it through dialogue, consensus, with a good program for the future of this country. And the same way, you are agreeing on this because you are a member of forum. Then the power sharing, she was saying, my colleague Odette, regarding how political parties can share the power. For chance, even you can, if you have a chance, you can get something. But you have to have a program. The Rwandans like ideas, don't like only talk.
Right. Rwandans like ideas, they don't like talks.
Yes.
Let's now move the conversation to ideas, because we are going for an election. Yes. And elections...
Before we go to ideas,
yes.
I wanted to put in something.
Yes, very briefly, yes?
Yes, very briefly. One, I love democracy very much. But my brother here, Doctor, is playing with democracy. In one side, he's supporting democracy, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of everything. But on the other side, he wants now to suffocate others. Me, I have the freedom of being where I am, but you are not allowed to move where you are from. So this one, I think...
I have not understood you, Honorable. What do you mean by that?
You have PSD and PL who have decided to do what they did, to support President
It's their
Kagame.
choice. I'm not against their choice.
It's their choice. That is number one.
Yeah.
Number two, at the same time, you are now pointing to them your fingers, telling them that they should go to RPF.
No, because he said that they have nothing new, that they don't see that they got 5% in last election, so they don't see that you have any chance of winning.
Unless if you
They have
didn't
no
understand
ideas.
them properly, because our brother here said before that before even getting, to that decision in their Congress, they went to the grassroots first,
Exactly.
talked to the followers.
Let me
They
move
endorsed
this.
it right from there until went to the
Right.
to the national level.
Right, and I'm thinking this answer will, whatever you're saying and what he wants to respond to will also feature in the other part of this question that I want to ask. It's all about ideas, and as we go to these elections, what are the agendas? What are the top things? This election of August 4th and 5th,
Third and fourth.
Yes, third and fourth, sorry. It will be won on what basis? This is exactly what I want to ask now. And it brings us to the question that he asked, then why don't you join RPF and be part of them if you believe in their agendas, you believe in their manifesto? So what actually separates you, PL, from the RPF to be able to stand out as a different political outfit in Rwanda? This is in line with multi-party politics in Rwanda.
First of all, from our creation in 1991, we had our own manifesto. And we, as liberal, our principles are liberal. Politics, we preach freedom, liberty, economic development, and justice.
The same thing that RPF does as well, no?
The RPF also preaches that, but not always in the same way.
So what differentiates you between you and the RPF, the ruling party? What are the things that you don't agree on that makes you say we're going to be an independent political party? You know, what do you not agree on?
We are independent as a party, and the politics, because we've been working together, generally we tend now, with that consensus they are talking about, the difference is not very seeable, but liberalism is very different from socialism, for example.
So who's socialism here? Who's practicing socialism here? And who's
at the
practicing
beginning,
liberalism?
Maybe my friend Abdul Karim, it is not socialism.
It's just a movement.
It is a movement. It is, but
everyone
as
is invited.
We are preaching the competitiveness. We are preaching the really the economic development more than any
The RPF or any other party? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know at which level, but now, one of the good things that have been happening these last years is that working together and agreeing, even when we have differences, we sit and we agree on how to do things.
Right.
And we do things as we have agreed. It can be in the government, it can be at the level of the forum of parties, it can be in the parliament. We finally agree, and we, with consensus as we chose, we continue to develop the country.
Right.
Anangwe, thank you.
Yes, as you answer that, I want to also to ask you the same question.
Yes, yes.
What is it that would stop you from dissolving your party and saying, because we believe in President Paul Kagame as the presidential candidate, I mean, endorsing him and saying we believe in the agenda of RPF, what would stop you as PSD from dissolving your party, closing shop, and joining the RPF, as he said?
So I think we have to differentiate two terms.
Yes.
Joining or having a coalition. In the history of politics, it's good to make a coalition when you see there's a potential person who can lead you for the future years. So what you see in the PSD is not the negative side. What is differentiating you with RPF? Ask us, what is putting together with us with RPF is the leadership of Paul Kagame. That is a big thing. So don't go through negatives. Let's take the positive side of things. We agree that Kagame is the right person for this country today and the coming future 7 years? If yes, and then you can go through economic growth, you can go through solidarity, you can go through justice, you can go through the patriotism he has for this country. Those are things in which we can take in common.
So if you agree on that, as a political party that is different in terms of outfit,
yes,
then someone would say this is then a duplication of what we already have. Then why not?
No, it's not a duplication.
Yes.
It's a good decision. So we can put our effort together for the country we love, for the people we love. That is a coalition is acceptable.
And in democracy, I think this one is not even new.
Yeah, it's not new.
We are not the people who are creating this thing in the world. Though we have our way of doing things because our history is different from the other parts of the world. Just a few days ago when the new French president...
Yes.
When the new president in France was elected, he sat alone, I think, in his room and thought, I'm going now to the power, but my country is divided. How can I bring it together so that we can work for this country? He called all of these parties, which were yesterday in opposition, on the podium with him, opposing him, even sometimes calling him names. Now he called all of them, please come. The social, the conservative, the so on and so what. France is first. Mm-hmm. If we don't come together, we can destroy it. Mm-hmm. If we come together, we can rebuild it. Mm-hmm. This is what he did. Mm-hmm. And I think he's getting some lessons from here. So PL and PS, what they're doing is just something common, and I think it fits in our history and where we are today.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let me bring in our audience and let me also hear what they have to say concerning this particular issue. Some of the tweets that we have been receiving via the hashtag InFocusRW, just kindly keep them coming. I'll be able to read them right here on the program. If we have them, let's just have them on the show. There we go. We have our friend there who says, Habineza still having the idea of building the wall of Volcano Park to reinforce security? I think this is a question that Dr. Frank will be able to answer himself right here on the program. If we have any other tweets, there we go. We have Bertrand who says, another good thing to highlight is that the government will fund at least 95% of the budget and the rest will come from the development partners. This, I think, is in line with the budget for the election. Let me read other tweets right here coming from Wilson Ali D on Twitter says, President Kagame, I will be able to come back on that. President Kagame has achievements and has shown his ability and vision for Rwandans, and Dr. Habineza better can go in the forum and he can learn more. And this tweet was followed with some photos right there. Another one says, PL and PSD supporting RPF or they are supporting Paul Kagame. Why didn't you support him before? This is a good question for you, Honorable Odette. Are you supporting RPF as a party or President Paul Kagame?
We are supporting President Paul Kagame.
And why did you do that before?
Before what?
Yes, before in other elections, 2000,
in 2003,
yes,
we supported him and we campaigned for him because we were going out of that period of transition. And in 2010, we gave our candidate and we campaigned for our candidate, Prosper Higiro. He didn't get much votes, but at least he had almost 2% of the votes. And today, we've decided to again campaign for His Excellency Paul Kagame.
Right. Okay, we're going to take a very short break. And of course, when we come back, we'll be able to read more of your tweets and of course, move this conversation forward on the issues that will ensure the election is won. What are those issues that will make whoever will win these presidential elections in August, win? These are the things that we'll be able to talking about right here on the program when we come back. Keep tweeting. Use the hashtag InFocusRW. That is the hashtag we're clicking on to follow and track your tweets. Stay with us. We're back in a moment.
Now that is the smell of a new day, new business ideas, new opportunities, and above all, a new chance to start over. Forget about the news. We want to talk about the stocks that are trading, what companies have been listed, and the exchange rate, and also the money matters, not just regionally, but also globally. Take a look. They are the right arm of every business world. The small-scale businesses, they contribute a lot to our economies, and yet they face new challenges every single day. Now, I come in to stop all that. Listen to them, find a common ground, and come up with a solution. And I also give you an insight into the opportunities in their business world.
Join us every Tuesday on Business Digest.
Many people have been asking what we have been up to. Well, we have told the different stories from decision makers, but this time round, it will be different. We will be getting head to head with various influencers and get to the heart of the matter. It is not an easy ride, but we'll endeavor to get you there. It will be insightful, informative, and at times we will agree to disagree because we are the bridge to your leaders.
And welcome back. Thank you so much for still being with us. This is In Focus. My name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe, and today we start the many of the conversations around the August presidential elections. And of course, we are here with none other Honorable Odette from PL. We also have Sheikh Abdul Karim, who's from the ruling party, RPF. We also have Dr. Frank Habineza from the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda, and Honorable Chrysostom, the Secretary General of PSD. And before we went for the break, of course, there were still questions lingering around this particular decision, but in just a short while, we're going to move this conversation from that. But I want to hear your response to this particular concern of some people who feel that the decision that the two of you, your parties made was because you felt that you want to have a chance or a slice of the cake when sharing power is concerned, and that is why you felt that you are not going to be able to make it on your own if you went alone, if you said that, you know what, you're going to have your own presidential candidate. Could this be the reason? You're trying to secure your position or the jobs you have today, so that's why you're saying we're going to back the president?
That's not the reason. That's not the reason, really.
How do you explain that to the person who thinks like this?
Yeah, because even if we campaign on our own, we'll still be in the decision-making positions, because that's something that is in our constitution, that power sharing is the motto of this politics of Rwanda. So the decision came from Rwandans themselves. If they said, we don't want President Kagame, and we'd like to have Odette or Abdul Karim or somebody else, but they all said, I say all, at least I remember that the people who went to the parliament or who wrote to the parliament were about 4 million. So it is like around 70% of the voters. So now we say also, this, after the constitution has been changed, there's that other article, I think it is 74, that says this period will be now 7 years, and
then
after
the other one's 5-5.
now it will be 5-5. So this is also kind of transition. I was telling you, when we were getting out of transition in 2003, we campaigned for President Paul Kagame.
So after 2017 elections, you're likely to have a different candidate. You may not support...
After
this,
2024, I think our party will be strong, and will be, because also the President Kagame doesn't want to continue be the sole leader of this country. He wants people to grow and also take the lead.
So he should actually prepare himself. You may back him if he actually comes up with good ideas. Honorable Dr. Frank Habineza.
Unless he joins PL. If he joins PL and we find he's a good leader, he's a member of the Liberal Party, and he's supporting...
But President Kagame has not joined PL, and you're supporting him. This is what they're actually concerned about.
But
you're saying if you want to support him, it's not about his policies, but he has to join you for you.
Anangwe, there is a difference.
Yes, what's the difference?
I think
very big difference.
my brother there asked you not to compare our president, Mr. Paul Kagame, to some other people. He's very different from them. Sometimes I tell people on social media that they don't compare the earth to the sun. You'll be trying to do something impossible. So this is the man who has shown us his achievements in 23 years. He has made total change to this country. not only physical, which you can see with our eyes, but you can feel it even in our hearts. And you are ready to move with him. So please don't compare him to others. When you talk about him uniquely. And then you want to talk about to others, then
talk to them about them also in another way.
Yes.
But you just earlier on said that we have democracy, freedom
yes,
of actually
that is
expressing
democracy,
ourselves.
but you can compare.
Yes.
I mean, you can compare democracies.
Yes.
You say the democracy of America, Europe, and so on and so forth are like this. You can compare them, but individuals are different.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Frank, I mean, listening to all that they're saying, and some people are actually saying that you seem to be the loner in this conversation. I mean, what are we going to do, I mean, in this case, to actually convince these people and say, you know what, guys, I believe that the 98% or the 98.3% that they talk about does not actually represent what you really want. I'm here as a political party and also a flag bearer of a political party, and I feel that I can offer you that alternative. You know, how are you going to win this?
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to preach to the converted ones, because it looks like the panel we have here, they already converted, and I mean, their parties wrote it officially that they want President Kagame to continue, and they supported the change of the constitution and the referendum. They campaigned for that, and now they have reconfirmed it here. So basically, they already converted.
So what are they going to do?
But I know that there are other Rwandans who don't share the same views like them. So those are my focus, and that's where I'm going to focus. I'm going to convince those other Rwandans. There are those who voted no, and there are those who did not have the chance to vote. And the Electoral Commission said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that there are new voters, about 1.5 million new voters, those who did not vote in the referendum. So that's almost over 20% voting bloc, which
that
is already there.
You believe are going to
so
be
which we are going to convince, and mostly, most of them are actually our members. Yeah, so basically we have, the field is open.
The field is
I'm
open.
not going to put my energy convincing Honorable Odeta or SG here, no. Yes, because I know that they already convinced, and they have already actually signed for that, but there are others who want to have new ideas. Who want to have some changes.
In your calculations, remember the 4 million,
so, and the Honorable
who signed.
Abdul Karim, for him, is in the RPF. So don't you expect anything new from him? I mean, he's the ruling party. So basically, but it's good that we have the space to discuss, and I hope they'll give me the space.
Would you thank RPF for that?
Sorry?
Would you thank RPF for bringing this freedom for you?
Of course, it's a good. We will thank the government of Rwanda, which we all belong to.
He doesn't want to do that.
Mr. Anangwe, if you allow me.
I mean, it's good that we should have a free and fair election. Where all
Do you think this election is going to be free and fair?
I hope it will be free and fair. This is my expectation, that all of us will have a choice, a right to express our views, different views, and we will be treated equally. There will be no beatings or imprisonments or what. Then
don't worry about
it. So then we convince people, and the people will decide. Then if it's free and fair, of course, we agree with the results.
The results.
I wanted to say something about what you asked the Dr. Odeta regarding that we are choosing Kagame because we need more position in the politics, in the government, in the parliament. You know that those are just talks. We are in the government from 25 years ago with RPF ruling party because the constitution is saying it. Even if Kagame has 100%, we'll share with other people because he even accepted this. He can't govern himself.
But on
alone.
this show, he said that actually power is not really shared. This is what he actually said. Sitting on that same position he's sitting right now.
If you have the speaker from PLA, we have the PM from PSD, and many others. I think even for Frank, the time will come. Important is to have ideas to show what he's capable to do. You know the problem of Frank, he worried me. He only refused the process of referendum. He never showed any tangible ideas for transformation of this country.
But we did.
If he can have ideas, tangible ideas, for sure he will be with us in the government. Until now, we're only opposing the process.
So is it about being in government?
Sorry?
Is it about being in government? Is that what really you're after? Because you say his time will come, he'll also be in
he's saying that there's no sharing power, but he knows very well. He knows very well. Until now, I never read something from him saying that, you see, we can move from 8% in the GDP to go up 10. This idea will be welcomed.
Dr. Frank, it's only fair for you to respond to that.
Yeah.
No, I think he's comparing, as they said, is it earth and what? And the sun. I mean, things which are not practical, because for us, for them, they are in parliament, they are in government. For us, we are not yet there. But we have always been giving our views. We published our political program. We even asked for some things to be changed. They didn't even read, or they don't even know what is there, because they don't want even to know. So basically, some things the government changes, some things we say, some things government changes. Of course, they don't
Frank,
give us
examples,
credit.
examples,
because
please.
they don't give us
He
credit.
wants examples.
I'm not going to give him an example because he's comparing, he's talking things without any data. So basically, now we have a chance where we're going to give Rwandans our political program. We're going to show them what we stand for, what we should do for this country, and we hope we convince Rwandans to vote for us.
Is the wall one of them? Someone asked about the wall.
Don't call it a chance.
I
think
we
it
talk
is a
about
right.
hope.
A chance, a
Yes.
hope.
Yes.
It's not chance.
It's a right.
It is
It's a right.
you
You're
have.
right. Yes, it's a right. Yes.
Just exercise it.
Yeah, we're going to exercise
You
that,
have
right?
to be confident, Frank. You have to
No
be
one will
confident.
hinder you from doing that at all.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, I asked you a question, and of course you said that you are going to actually share some of the programs that you
Yes.
have, and you're going to convince the people
Yeah.
to actually vote for you.
Yeah.
And they were asking for examples, and probably this is your chance to actually give any example of some of the things that you've been able to do that you know, someone says, you know what, I think there's an alternative there.
Yeah, let's say like in the agricultural sector, we have been having a very big problem, especially even last year, where we have had food scarcity in this country, especially in the eastern province. We've had that some people even had to leave the country, go to Tanzania, even to Uganda.
Yeah.
Others had even to do internal migration from Bugesera to Mayaga, that's in Butare area. So basically because there was lack of food. So we have a better agricultural policy, whereby we're going to make sure that the agricultural production increases, and we tackle, of course, environmental problems associated with that. We'll make sure that we produce more for the Rwandans than for the external market. So we're going to look into the policy of land consolidation, which has been one of the root causes for this problem, and we're going to revise that policy and make it better for the Rwandans. So that's one of them. Of course, we have other many ideas, but I think this is not the time to talk much more about the manifesto, but you'll hear more of these ideas very soon.
As time goes by, Honorable Odette, these elections, August 4th, you know, for some people, they feel that it is narrowly, you know, placed. It's only on President Paul Kagame. Whereas some people say that, you know what, we need to hear the issues. What are the key things that the voters will be going to look into as they vote for whoever they'll be voting for? As a political party, what are those things that you will be pushing for, or you will be agendas, you know, in terms of the real issues that will make whoever wins win these elections?
Actually, if people talk all of Paul Kagame, it is not only Rwandans. From all over the world, they are talking of him. Whatever you read, everybody has found our president as a true leader who has been able to transform this country. What we'll be pushing for now as we endorsed him, we want him to continue on that transformation. We want all Rwandans to be at the level of sufficiency. He's talking of food security. I think Rwanda has never had food security as today. It is obvious that the agriculture has improved, but of course will push for its improvement. Irrigation will make sure that irrigation is a practice that is really extended all over the country. It has started, but it is really very done in very little areas, specifically on the east, but we push that.
So you'll also be looking at the issue of food security.
Of food security, of education. We want education to be stronger, to make sure that our children, when they come out of university, they are at the same level as the best universities of this world. and they can seek for a job in Kenya, in Tanzania, in our whole region. Because if we entered now in East African community, it is not that we'll continue sitting here. We have to go elsewhere.
So how as political parties, how are you going to do that? How do you even do that? How have you been doing that so far where we are today? Because you say today Rwanda is one of the most food secure ever comparing to other years or other periods. So what has been the contribution of your party, of political parties in ensuring this happens?
We've been contributing from the beginning, from 1994, since we entered in the government. Every time we also write the programs, we discuss with others, and since we are also in those places, of course, we even implement. And in the parliament, that's where most of things happen. We control the government, we make sure, and we provoke that. We discuss this in the party, and we ask our parliamentarians, the chapter from Liberal Party, please go in the parliament and try to change this law, try to do this, and
so
push
you've been influencing
others.
that.
Of course, we've been influencing.
Right. Mheshimiwa Christopher, you know, some people feel like...
The same question, sir?
Yes, yes, and you'll also answer the one that you want to pick up from what we've been talking about.
Okay, thank you so much.
far.
Yes, I think that, I'm almost sure that Rwandans will choose the continuity of good thought and good actions. Do you know why? Wherever in the world, in the time, the space and the time, good thoughts and good actions will never produce bad results. But bad thought and bad actions will always produce bad results. So we never produce good results. To us, we know those good results, we know the positive thought, we know the actions from 94 until now. So for sure, Rwandans will choose the continuity, and PSD will be there to support that continuity. To
support the continuity.
Yes.
Now, President Paul Kagame, in the quote we made earlier on, he said the intention is not to have an eternal leader, someone who's there forever. In one of the interviews recently, he also mentioned something about continuing after 2017 and urging people to start thinking beyond just him. As PSD, a party that has actually endorsed him and says that we want this continuity, are you also preparing for someone else, you know?
No, thank you so much. You see, politics is not static, it's dynamic. Day after day, we prepare ourselves. Paul Kagame said very well, he can't be eternal. So let's see the time when it will come. For sure, someone will be ready. It's not inside out to show that there is someone or there's not someone, but as I have said...
What's the strategy? What's the strategy? I'm sure Rwandans want to hear what's your strategy of preparing for someone else.
The strategy is to keep calm and to prepare yourself.
Keep calm and prepare yourself.
And you are doing it, yes.
Right. Maybe I've talked to the Democratic Party for long. Let me hear from you, Honorable Abdul Karim, on the issue of preparing. You know, he's spoken about continuity, but also there's the issue of thinking beyond. So how is the party preparing for this?
First of all, what you must know about RPF, you know, it is a front. It is not a party like all of these parties you hear about. When we are creating RPF, we thought about Rwanda deeply, history and the current, and we thought about even neighboring countries and the world. Then we come out with something we called RPF, not a party. So it is a movement which can accommodate everyone.
So how is this movement preparing for post-President Kagame?
This movement, you just heard from him himself. He said it before, until when he was, I don't know whether I can use this word, that he was almost forced by the Rwandese. He was much influenced by the Rwandese to come back. Otherwise, he was leaving this year. You know, so he had, as chairman of the party, and inside the party decisions were taken before, that every member in the party who is a man or a woman of dignity, man who knows the history of Rwanda, who knows the politics of this Rwanda, the man who is a woman who is dynamic, and who has Rwanda at heart, whoever has these qualities, he can rule this country, provided he works with the front, and he works with the other Rwandese in promoting Rwanda. So these people are here in RPF.
They are there?
Yes.
It could even be you?
Yeah. Oh, why not?
Because you actually contested to
Why
be
not?
a flag bearer for the party.
Twice, not only once. Though I failed.
So what are the strategies that the party is actually using? Because this is also important. Post-President Kagame.
Since its inception, RPF, and that is why you call it that it is a front. We don't go there outside just to talk to the people in public and debates and whatever, but we go into school. We have some kind of political school, whereby we bring up young people, whereby the grown people of our age and who are even older than us, we go through school, learning the politics of this country, learning the methods of ruling people, learning everything that concerning the betterment of the people of this country.
So that person who might take over from President Kagame is actually going through the schooling as we speak?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Let's read some of those tweets that I'm being told are out there. Let's sample them via the hashtag #InFocusRW. If you have them, I have Venuste who says, it just skipped over. They're actually coming thick and fast. There you go. We have Gustav Emilian who says, so PSD is hoping for seats in the cabinet. That's why they back RPF as they feel they don't have a chance against it. I think this is something that Honorable Odette did respond to right there. We have another one there which says, power sharing is constitutional, not up for grabs.
Yes, that is the answer to that question.
That is the answer to that particular question, right? Do we have any other tweet? Let's just sample some of them. There we go. We have another one from Abiola, which says that coalition doesn't work at all. And in my scopic view, it's de-energizing multi-party. It's killing multi-party.
Does he follow the universal politics?
We have one last one here. Apart from what PL and PSD parties agree with the ruling party, what are their disagreements or additions? This is exactly what I was trying to push Honorable Odette with on that one. This is a conversation that actually has begun today. We're going to be having more of these conversations concerning the forthcoming August elections. And of course, I just want to give you the last parting shot. What are the things that you want to advise the electorate concerning these elections that are coming? Very briefly, 30 seconds.
Very briefly, I would advise all Rwandans to all go massively to vote.
They go massively
and vote for Kagame.
And vote for Kagame. Very quickly.
Come one, come all. Our choice is President Paul Kagame.
Democratic Green Party.
We're a party with new ideas. We have very good policies for this country.
Yeah.
And we have very good ideas that will make the country much better than the way it is. So people, when they vote for me, they'll be voting for a better Rwandan.
All right. PSD.
I will just say they have to vote the continuity.
Vote continuity. Thank you so much. We're going to end the program on that particular note. And of course, we want to say asante sana for being a part of the program. Thank you for watching. Thank you also for the tweets. They've been coming in. And of course, the conversation never ends on this particular platform. And they're never meant to end here. They only start right here. And so what I'm just want to call upon you to do is keep talking. Let's keep tweeting. The hashtag, as always, is InFocusRW. We'll have more of these conversations in the subsequent programs. And of course, keep it right here. My name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Goodbye for now.
cya kirori gihiga ibindi mu gususurutsa imbaga y'abanyarwanda kigarutse ku nshuro ya karindwi. Ni Primus Guma Guma Superstar. Nta mpamvu n'imwe yo gucikwa ibitaramo. Teramo agakweto, unagemo agashati, tera ipasi ako gapantaro ndugu yangu. Dore na wa muhanzi wemera yakereye kukunezeza mu muziki wa live 100%. Yes my friend, full live. Ndavuga live itavanyi igukura hasi ikakujyana ibicu. Hanyuma nawe wake nuchikwe duhuri kirori tujya tutwike tujyane. Primus Guma Guma Superstar kirori kigana gutora umuhanzi wakwemeje ukamwimika nka kizigenza wa muzika mu Rwanda, andika nimero ye wohereze kuri 43 Ufite imyaka iri munsi ya 18 ntiyemerewe kunywa inzoga. Munywe mu rugero.
Well, hello there. It is the 11th day of June, and he's hoping that you had yourselves a lovely wind down to your weekend. Let's go straight to what made the top stories tonight. RPF Inhotanyi Party members in northern and southern provinces on Sunday elected President Paul Kagame as the party's candidate to stand in this year's presidential elections. Members of the Social Party in Berakuri will not field a candidate during the upcoming presidential elections slated for the 4th of August this year. And we tell you of a story of Mka Noheri Josephine, a genocide survivor who has achieved commendable progress from banana farming to now being a landlady. And on the international scene, Qatar has hired former U.S. Attorney General John Ashcroft and his law firm to counter accusations by Donald Trump that Doha supports terrorism. Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News with me, Fiona Mbabazi. RPF Inhotanyi Party members in northern and southern provinces this Sunday elected President Paul Kagame as the party's candidate to stand in this year's presidential elections. On Saturday, party members in the western province cast their votes and they too elected President Kagame to stand for them in August.
In the northern province, the members that cast their votes at the provincial level were 300